Hello, welcome to another Barb Stamps video. In today's video, we're going to be making this gorgeous sunflower card in some maybe not so traditional colors, but I hope you enjoy it anyway. I am very excited to show you this, so stay tuned and we will get the supplies to get started. Here are the supplies for this card. I have an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of crumb cake cardstock for my base. I have a 4 by 5.25 inch layer that I'm going to do some texturing with one of our embossing folders. I've got this is about a 4 by 4 piece of melon mambo for some die cutting, a scrap of early espresso for some die cutting, a 1/2 inch strip of vanilla for a sentiment, and then I have a is it two? Can't remember. It is a 1 3/4 by 4 inch piece of this wood grain paper. The wood grain paper comes to us from our In Good Taste Designer Series paper package, and these are the patterns that you will find in that package. I am in love with my paper charts. I was selling these a little bit ago. I did sell out of them, but the people that received them have given me nothing but raving positive feedback on them. So thank you guys for purchasing these for me. I appreciate it very much. I will be offering them for the August through December holiday mini catalog coming out very soon. So I use this dark wood grain piece here. You can see the back is the pink. And so that's the pattern that I used. I'm also going to be using the Artistry Blooms Designer Series paper, and here's my chart for that paper. I'm going to be using this piece right here. So we've got a large one here. I'm going to be die cutting a sunflower out of this one. So let me get some dies here and we will get started. So we're using the Celebrate Sunflowers bundle. So I'm going to be using the sentiment out of this, nothing else for this particular card. And then here is the set of dies, and I will be using some of these dies today. So the set of dies, you've got a very detailed sunflower along with a plain sunflower in the back. And you can also stamp that plain piece if you want in this sample here. We also have a die for the leaf, the stamped leaf, or you can just die cut the leaf with no stamping and then add the other detailed die cut over the top of it for a nice two-toned look. We also have this nice little sunflower here. You could trim off those leaves and tuck these small little die cut leaves underneath if you wish. We have our little center for the sunflower, which is super cute with those little pressed in dots. And then we have these two kind of stemmy florally pieces. And so for my project today, I'm going to be using the detailed die, the solid die, and then these two little guys here along with the center. So with my solid die, I'm going to be cropping out a solid piece in this Designer Series paper. And I like this paper because it's a little bit ombre-ish, and so I'm not just going to have a solid color behind my detailed die cut. I'm going to have some fun. And then on my Melon Mambo, I will do the detailed die cut piece. I'm also going to be using our gorgeous rainbow glimmer paper, and I'm going to take the sunflower middle, and I'm going to be cropping that out of this pinky color right here. This glitter paper, you guys, is amazing. The glitter does not come off on your hands. It's so cool. So we'll be getting that piece there. My scrap of early espresso. I will be getting these two little flourishy floral pieces out of that. Excuse me, out of that. And that's all I'm using right now out of the die set. I'm also going to be taking my layer of crumb cake, and I'm going to run it through with the Tasteful Textures 3D embossing folder. But before I do that, I am going to spritz it with some rubbing alcohol so that it will be more apt to take a little bit more of the dimension. So all I'm going to do is just spritz this a few times, tuck it into my folder, and take it over to my die cutting machine. So I will be taking all of these things to my die cutting machine, and I will be right back. All right, so here's all my pieces. Here is my background layer. You can see that amazing texture that the folder gives us. Here is my layer from the Designer Series paper. And then here is my die cut. And you can tell how to line these things up. There are 3 leaves that kind of go this way. I don't know what you would call that. But there are also 3 leaves on the detailed die cut that also kind of roll in that fashion. So you can always tell how to line this up by those 3 leaves right there. So to get these two together, I want this to be a little bit free falling there. Oh, whoops. I have a couple of tiny little spots that did not come out when I ran those through. No problem. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue right around this centerpiece here. Again, finding those 3 leaves that kind of angle themselves up. Get that together in the proper lineup here, and then we'll just press that into place. So that way it's still a little bit free-flowing there, so it gives it a little more dimension, I feel like. Okay, then we have this little guy, our fun glimmer paper, and that's going to go right in the center, but I do want to pop that up on a dimensional. So I think I'm going to use a mini for this. So I'll just put a mini dimensional there. And then we will attach this little guy here. See if we can figure out where it goes. I think there's a little point kind of right on there, and so I think that little point goes right here. Not that it would matter if it was perfectly placed, but just for fun. So there we have our flower done. Next, I'm going to add, where's my snail or my... I'm going to bring in my Seal Plus, since I am attaching this piece of paper to something that's been embossed. I do want to have a little bit heavier duty adhesive. And so I'm going to use my Seal Plus for that. I'm just going to add this right at the bottom of my embossed layer. Press that into place and let's see if I have any excess. Looks like I did a pretty good job cutting there. Oops, no, I have a tiny bit on the edge there I need to trim off. Looks like my cardstock is a tiny bit longer than my designer series paper. So we will get that off. And then this is going to be attached to the main card. And again, oh, whoops, before I do that though, I want to bring in my Early Espresso, what is this called? Faux suede trim. And I'm just going to wrap that right around my layer here and attach it to the back. And I like to do that with Scotch tape so I get a nice, good stick. And I'm actually going to do it right in the middle, I think, right between the designer series paper and the cardstock. There we go. You can kind of tell when you look behind there if you've got that in the center. Looks like I do. Okay, I'll just press that into place. Now I can bring in my Seal Plus, and I'm just going to add a few runs in the corner here, and then we can get that attached to the card. There we go. And center that as best I can. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to I'm going to kind of eyeball my flower placement here. And I kind of want it about like so. So I'm going to attach these little guys to the back of my flower. And you can do that with some adhesive. We're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of Seal Plus. And then I'll just tack these down. There we go. That's going to be about like so. I'm going to add this with some dimensionals. We'll just add a few, probably 4 I think will be good. The paper backing's off here. Okay. And then we'll just add this right over the ribbon, like so. And then I need to do my sentiment. So I've got a 1/2 inch strip of vanilla here. And then I've got my sentiment from the stamp set that says, "Thanks a bunch." I'm going to ink that up in some Early Espresso. And we'll see if we can get this centered on here. Not quite. Let's try that again on the other side. Needed to bring it down just a tad. There we go. And then we can snip the ends here with some snips. So we will cut that off. I'm just going to come in and flag the end. Oh, get that last bit off there. And then I'm just going to add this right here at the bottom of the card, just barely underneath our sunflower. And I think I'm just going to use some liquid glue for that. And I think we'll go all the way to the edge of the card itself, and like so. All right. And there we have it. It is finished. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. Please subscribe to my channel down here and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. And I appreciate your business. If you need any Dampen Up supplies at shoppingwithbarb.com. And thank you again, and have a great day.